Y'all, this is your boy Quan Dukes. We back at it again. Today's wise words of the day is on how to play the money game. Um, you know, a lot of us, we make a lot of money, but we don't keep a lot of money. So today we're gonna talk about how to play the money game and how to really get to this money and really figure things out. There's a lot of basic principles to the money game, but we're gonna talk about it. All right, so the first thing that you want to know when it comes to playing that money game is you got to have discipline. If you don't have discipline, you're not going to be able to be successful at the money game because you got to focus, and it's not something that's going to be a quick lick and that's going to happen overnight. I like to play this game. Shouts out to my man, Patrick Bet David. He's the one that I learned this formula from. It's the doubles game. The doubles game goes hand in hand with the money game. So basically the doubles game is if you have $1,000, you're 10 doubles away from $1 million. How does that go? If you have $1,000 and you double $1,000, that becomes $2,000. 2,000 turns into 4,000. 4,000 turns into 8,000. 8,000 turns into 16,000. 16,000 turns into 32,000. 32,000 turns into 64,000. 64,000 turns into 128,000. 128,000 turns into 256,000. 256,000 turns into 512,000. 512,000 turns into $1,024,000. That's 10 doubles on 1,000. So if you double your money 10 times with $1,000, you get $1,024,000. You know, you're not gonna learn that in school. You know what I'm saying? And that's the crazy thing about this. Like, becoming financially literate is pretty much for my community self-taught. Most of the things that I learned is self-taught. And you just gotta want it. If you want it, you could get it. And that's really my whole thing. Like, I believe that, you know, wealth comes with hard work. It comes with working harder and smarter. Some people say they just want to work smarter, but you got to work harder and you got to work smarter. I talk about Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant a lot because those two guys that had talent, but they worked harder than everybody. And because they worked harder than everybody, they got what they wanted in this world. They became the best. So in order to become the best, you got to work harder and you got to work smarter. If you don't work harder and you don't work smarter, you won't be the best. So, you know, get that out your head, just working smarter. Nah, you want to work harder. Because if you work harder, you're going to be the best. I promise you. So the money game, it deals with a lot of those things. You know what I'm saying? Just figuring out basic things. Like the average American only makes $1,000. I'm sorry, the average American doesn't even have $1,000 saved. You know what I'm saying? And the average American only makes, well, not only, but the average American makes $876 a week, which translates into $45,552. So once it translates into that, a lot of Americans don't even have $1,000 saved. So getting that first 1,000 is the first part to playing the money game. Once you get the 1,000 saved, then you have to figure out what's going to be your vehicle of investing. You might want to invest in real estate, even though $1,000 ain't enough to do that. But once you get those 10 doubles in, you're going to be able to invest in real estate. But you might want to invest in the stock market. You might want to start a business. And like I said before, you might want to get into real estate. So you just got to figure out what your vehicle is going to be to really take you and catapult you to that next level of where you're trying to go. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. The difference between rich and wealthy. Rich people have money. Athletes, singers, dancers, ball players, rappers, anyone you could think about, a lot of the times they have money. They have a lot of money. That's what you would call being rich. Now, being wealthy is when you have a lot of money and you also keep it. So like I say, it's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep. So a lot of the wealthy people, they keep a lot of their money that they make. And then they pass it on to their children, and then their children pass it on to their children. And that's what genuinely generally translates into generational wealth. And that's how, once you learn how to play that game, that's how you close the wealth gap. You're not going to close the wealth gap by just making a bunch of money and buying jewelry and getting flying, getting fresh. That ain't going to do nothing. You got to invest in gold and silver. You got to invest in stocks. You got to save a lot of money. You got to diversify your money. You got to do different things. If you don't do different things, you're not going to have different results. And that's what I'm trying to teach y'all. And that's what I want y'all to understand when it comes to playing this money game. It ain't that difficult. The money game is all about doubles. Once you learn how to double your money and you keep doubling your money and you keep doubling up and you keep doubling up, you're going to be good. You're going to be at that million in no time. You're going to be sitting on that yacht like, yo, we good. I told you. You know what I'm saying? But first you got to get that initial 1,000. Once you get that initial 1,000, if you're an average American and you want to get that first 1,000, you got to save 10% of what you make. You know what I'm saying? Pay yourself first. Once you save 10% of what you make, so if you make $876 a week, you gotta save 10% of that for 10 weeks, and that's $1,000. Save $87 a week for 10 weeks. That's $1,000. Once you save that $1,000, you good. You're gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? And once you do that, then sky's is the limit. So saving that first initial $1,000 is the key to what you're trying to do. Once you do that, then you're good. But if you don't do that, then you're going to have problems. So, learning how to play the money game and doubling your money is super key to what you're trying to do. Once you do those things, you're going to be all right. I promise you. So like I said, paying yourself first is very important. And just trying to be great. You got to focus up. Like, the money game is all about the doubles. Once you learn how to double your money, I promise you, you're going to be fine. That is the key to this, and that is how you're going to excel. That is how you're going to take yourself to the next level. So please, figure out how to get that initial 1,000. Once you get that initial 1,000, you're good. I promise you. And that's really the first step, and that's really, starting early. Getting started early is key too. So for all my young listeners, my 30 and under crowd, start saving that money and figuring out how you're going to double it. Once you figure out how to double it, you're going to be good. And just keep doubling and keep doubling and keep saving and keep adding and keep adding. Make that shit compound. Compound, they say compound is the 8th wonder of the world. Once you learn how to compound and learn how to double, sky's is the limit. And that's my wise words of the day for y'all. Focus up, get to the money, live life, and be good. I'll see y'all next time. Holla at your boy. Yo, and last but not least, hit that like button and subscribe. We out.